Hi, greetings. My name is Sister Mira Sankofa Kwali. I'm with Ask Life Coaching Ministries. And of course, this video today is about advice. Basically, I have had many people to just randomly ask me for advice to get consultation from me. So, what I did was I took 17 questions out of um, out of probably like 100. So I decided to do a little video and to just answer some of these questions and feedback that I've been getting through my emails, because this is all because it was a whole bunch of emails to just really go through, and I try to answer everything. But these were the consistent questions that I've had, over a period of time. So I want to go ahead and try to take the liberty to answer them. Okay. So I'm going to try my best to answer them as best as I can. And of course, it's not going to be the longest video in the world, okay? So it's going to be like a little short video. But anyway, stay tuned and subscribe to me, okay? Again, I forgot to tell you was my website is www.ask314life.com. My telephone number is 502-208-9142. Okay. Now, I have a couple questions starting right here. It says, when do I know when it's time for me to let go of my relationship? Well, when you no longer want to be with that person, or that person shows you that they don't want to be with you, or you all or arguing a lot, or you maybe it's becoming vital, violence is coming into place, or maybe that person gets someone else, or you get someone else. So it's pretty much time to end the relationship. Although some things, everything I just named, also can also be worked out in a relationship. I also do help people to work through certain issues and problems. So that's definitely what I'm here for. But these are normally certain things. Time to let go of a relationship. Basically, to be honest with you, your heart kind of lets you know when it's time. Um, and in most cases, sometimes we don't want to let go of relationships. I've been with one sister. She's a Pisces. So with Pisces, on certain levels, they have a hard time of letting go, just like Virgos do. But yes, she was a Pisces, and she had extreme difficulty in letting go. And she thought about this guy over and over. He done moved in with somebody else. He divorced her, remarried somebody else. They had one child together, a little girl, and she kept on trying and trying and trying and trying, and he just did not want her. So at that point in time, that was time to let go. Just to give you an example. Um, so number two question is a Virgo a good match for me? Well, it really depends on if you're willing to work through it. It depends on what your zodiac signs is. It depends on when your moon is rising. It definitely depends on many factors. So anybody could be a great match for somebody, as long as you want to work through certain issues that you might have because of your zodiacs. Because sometimes zodiacs that belong together don't work together well. Sometimes zodiacs that don't go together actually work together. Again, that goes about how you want to work it. If you are honest, if you want to really work through it, if you want it to work, then it could possibly work. But you do have to have certain tools in order to do so. So it really depends. So that's a pretty good question. But I have to have more information in regards to that. So I had to answer that question the best way I could with the information provided to me. Okay, so number three, when should I start having children? Well, more importantly, I know a lot of times, I guess when your biological clock is ticking, you can certainly want to have children. Maybe when you have a little coins, when you have certain amount of money, maybe saved a little bit, maybe that's a great time. Maybe when you have a husband possibly, or maybe if you have a wife, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time when you're in a cohabitate relationship, when you all are living together. Maybe that's a great time. Maybe when things are positive and you are in a great space in your life where you're not stressed. Because I don't, now don't get me wrong, babies are wonderful. They're a miracle. They're blessings, and children have been known to save that particular person's life. However, it has not been known to save relationships. So a lot of times I think that sometimes, and I'm not saying babies are mistakes because they're not, but a lot of times, sometimes having a child in a volatile relationship or having a child in hopes of trying to save a relationship makes it worse. But you do have that beautiful child out of it, so that's a walking away beautiful present, right? So I do not. I've seen certain situations where some of my clients, that particular client, thought that trapping that young man, she was a Pisces, and she thought by having a little girl and trapping him with the little girl that was going to save their marriage, and actually it did not, because she, it was her intentions. So a lot of times when your intentions isn't right, and you try to have a child, it's not the best thing at that point in time to try to keep the relationship. If your goal is to try to keep that relationship, that's worse. But if your goal is to have a child and you all could like co-parent, then that's wonderful. So that all really depends. But it definitely is better to be in a great space in your life when having that child. So you don't bring the child into the world that's angry. Again, we have enough angry children. We have enough angry and bitter people in the world. So, try your best that if you are angry by chance or you're in a volatile relationship and you are pregnant, try your best to get somewhere and be happy. Um, and try to work on yourself. And you can work on yourself during your pregnancy. You can certainly make yourself feel good. So, and I'm not even suggesting anything negative, but I'm just being honest with you. I don't. It won't save a marriage. So please stop having children to save marriages. Have a baby because you want a baby, because it's a blessing. Okay. Um. Do I think that? I'm sorry. These are 18 questions actually. Do I think that? I'm sorry, I can barely read this. Do I think that children will save a marriage? I've already pretty much answered that into one. No, they don't. Children do not save marriages. People save marriages. So if you want to work through it, you want to save your marriage, then try your best. But both parties have to be on board. Okay. Um, Number four. Uh, what herbs do I use for depression? Well, I have a couple. Catnip is really good for depression. St. John wort is really good for depression as well. What else? What's a great herb for? Um, yeah, so those two that I can think of my top of my head are really really good. You can also get those in teas. You can make it into a tea. You can put it into a vegetarian capsule or a vegan capsule as well. And also you can sprinkle it on your food as well. Sage is really good for our depression as well. You can burn sage. You can put sage on your food as well. I wouldn't put that into a tea. It's not the best tasting stuff in tea, but definitely. Uh, do I have any yoni cleansers? Yes, I still do. I still have a kit that actually I can give you. It's not just the yoni herbs that will help you to heal, but I also send you teas and crystals, um, and incense and candles and things. And I also tell you what to do and how to do it and when to do it. So number five, how do I know when my man or woman is cheating on me? So actually, I've had men to ask me this, and I've had women. So really, it all depends on the person, because you know your mate more than anyone. Maybe that they're acting a little strange, you know. Maybe they're doing certain things that they normally don't do. But again, that's one of those questions. That's one of those answers that they might be trying to self improve themselves. So it doesn't necessarily mean they're cheating. But if they're staying out all night, not coming home, that's one. Not calling you, not being concerned about you, um, basically not including you in certain activities that they're doing outside of the home. If they're going into different areas of the home or staying in their car and talking on the phone, that is one way that you know that they're cheating. If they're changing up their looks in a certain type of way, volatile up on you and not concerned about how you think their appearance is. When they start buying brand new cars, like sports cars and things like that in some cases, or they might just be going through a midlife crisis, so that can certainly be one. And of course that could be still cheating too, but at any rate, that's again those some examples. And I told you about not coming home at night, blocking their phone, not being able to. At first, maybe they had their phone unblocked at one point in time, and then all of a sudden they have their phone blocked, their emails blocked. Uh, they're not paying attention to you anymore. They're not answering their phone when they're out and about. When they are not as attentive to your needs, when they don't give a damn, when they don't want to sleep with you anymore, they begin to start sleeping on the couch. So, or they try to come home after you're already in bed. When the first thing that they do when they come home is probably take a shower. In certain cases like that, it might be that they flunky from work. I mean, who knows? So it's not always, again, that's not always that they're just automatically assuming they're cheating. I'm just giving you some examples. But again, rules can be like thrown out the window because some things could be just that they're depressed. You know what I mean? So I don't just want to indict people unnecessarily, but those are a few examples. So the next one is, let's see, when do I know my chakras are blocked? A lot of times when you feel lightheaded, when you feel a little cranky, a little not yourself, when bad things keep continuously happening to you, when certain parts of, maybe you have a stronger headache, maybe your stomach is aching in some cases, when you're just not feeling yourself, when your intuition is thrown off. Um, so those are a couple of ways to know. Um, the next one, when negative things continuously happen to you, that's another one. Or when you feel and think negative. Okay. So the next question would be, my energy is low. What should I take to make me happy? Well, again, St. John wort. Also, I would say ginger. Um, lavender. A good lavender bath. Putting essential oils on this lavender makes people happy. Catnip again makes you happy. Relaxation, getting your chakras unblocked, also helps you with your energy. And also eating a pomegranate fruit also gives you energy. Drinking more water, increasing your fruit intake. Stop eating as heavy foods. Clearing, maybe changing your dietary. Getting more exercises, certainly. Um, the next one, what classes to take to help me to heal? Well, I'm a Reiki grandmaster, so I'm an advocate for Reiki. So take any one of my Reiki classes, and I also offer so many healing different classes. It depends on what type of healing you need, but off the top of my head, I would say Reiki. But there are so many different classes that you can take that will certainly help you to heal. It depends on what's your ailment, what you're trying to heal. Is it emotional? Is it cancer? What is it exactly? So I would have to know that, but just off the top of my head, Reiki. Um, Crystal healing will be the next one, and also chakra healing will be another class of mine. So the three I recommend without knowing anything. The next one. When do you know when you're addicted? Um, well, if you want that particular thing more than you want anything else, so that's usually how you know when you're addicted. I know that's kind of a textbook answer, a quick quote textbook answer, but whatever. The next one, my wife is mad at me all the time. What should I do? ask her, why are you mad at me, baby? Is it something that I can do to make you happy? Take her out, for a romantic dinner. Do something really nice for her. Go get her hair done for her. Go get her nails done. If you all have children, go get a babysitter to watch the children. Spend some quality time with her. Go to a hotel or something, and really, really try to make her happy. Take her on a shopping spree. Really take her for a walk. Do something romantic with her. Make her feel like she's loved and appreciated, and then begin to talk to her and find out what exactly is wrong with her. Um, Also, don't say anything stupid. Try not to. And you pretty much know your wife, so you know what her likes and dislikes are. But try to go outside the box and try to do something that you haven't done for her before. Um, so just kind of figure out something. If you're on a low budget, and do something like maybe get a babysitter, and you order in a meal, or have someone like your mother, if your mother can a really good cook, and if you can't cook, then have someone to maybe cook a professional, beautiful meal for her, and do a candlelight dinner at home, and just serve her all day. She doesn't have to do anything. Ask her to take off work, and you take off work, and y'all really do some quality time, and really, and buy her a nice dress. You dress up and just do something exciting for her. Go on an outing, depends on what area you live in. But just make her feel like a lady again, and then ask her, baby, is it something wrong? I've been noticing that you haven't been yourself, and I notice that you're always mad at me. Is there something that I can do to make you happy, baby? And whatever I've done, I'm sorry. Okay. So it's just the little things that usually make the woman happy. So I think a lot of times, and even with men, little things make men happy as well. If you know what they like and know what they dislike, and you go out of your way, normally people appreciate that. So that's something that you might want to work on. The next one is, what do you use on your hair? Well, I use water and shea butter. Water, shea butter, coconut oil, hemp seed oil, anything that I cook with, or I put into, or I can drink. That's what I use on my hair. If you can't eat it, drink it, or put it on your body, then you don't need to put it on your hair. Um, so the next one, do I do spells? Yes, I do spells. Can I get a sample reading? Well, I don't know. It depends on the day. Sometimes, on occasion, I will do sample readings for people on social media, and all I do have to do is type it out and inbox it to you. So yeah, sure. Just let me know. Um, but it's a sample, okay? um, so the next one is, can you use the L rods? Do you know how to? I'm sorry. Do you know how to use L rods? Yes, I know how to use L rods. Do you do astral charts? Yes, I do astral charts. Do I compare people? Do I mate them up? I guess, do I match make? I guess that's kind of what they're asking. Yes. Can I match people up based off zodiac signs? Yes. Can I match people up based off um, descriptions? Yes. Um, am I in a relationship? Yes. Let's see. What's the next one? Uh, he asked me to marry him, but won't set a date. What do I do? Well, I mean, usually women, usually that's not men, usually that's not really a man's thing to worry about all the details, the intricate plots of getting married and all that. They usually leave it up to the brides. I'm sorry, the brides. But if I were you, I would just go to him and say, baby, I would like to set a date. Well, what date do you have in mind? And then just ask him, what does he have anxiety? Is he afraid? Just, have a real conversation with him, and just be really patient with him, and just say, hey, we can set a date for such and such and such and such time. Would that be fine for you? Or what day would you like to set, baby? Because I really am anxious to get ready to marry you. I'm ready to marry you. We all are afraid to get married. It just takes time, but I'm really willing to work through it with you. I try my best not to be as a bad bridezilla. The man might not want to, get have a big old marriage, a big old wedding. So, I think you should really honor that. If he wants to, that was the second part of the question. I'm sorry, I didn't read that. Um, so elope, just take, friends and family that really, that you're really close with, and just have them there, and y'all go somewhere, or just go somewhere, elope, get married, and then come back and just do like a little reception. Because it ain't all about that. Because I know people, a lot of people that have these really, really extravagant weddings don't even stay married but a day. So it's all about what you want to do with your marriage for the rest of your life, because you're going to be spending your life. Well, your goal is to spend the rest of your life with this particular person, right? So it's not about the wedding. So it's more so about, like, it's not about how you get married. It's all about staying together, right? So I will respect him, because it shows a sign that if he you don't honor his request, and then it's really about you all kind of compromising. You got to compromise sometime. It ain't all about you. It's about him too. It's his first marriage too, you know. So definitely consider his feelings. So that's probably why he don't want to set a date, because you want this long extravagant wedding, and he's just not. He don't want it. He don't feel like dealing with all that, and he don't. And then too, you just said he didn't want to spend a whole lot of money. And so, because you all need to save, you stop living. I think a lot of times we live beyond our means, and it's just not necessary to do all that. It's all about you all maintaining marriage. Save that money. Go do something nice for yourselves. Buy a house with that money. That savings that you all got, go get a nice house. Stop renting. Or do something that's, well, put money up for your children or something. When they get older, take some of that money and put some up. Don't buy a whole big wedding if that's not. He don't want that, baby. He don't want that. So just just honor his wish. Honor his wishes, okay? That's all. That's my advice to you, because a happy man is a happy marriage, and that's all he's requesting. That's why he don't want to set a date. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Um, let's see. The next question is, how do I know when my son is having sex? Well, usually they start kind of feeling themselves. They act, a little bit differently. They kind of start getting grown. They start acting grown in some cases. You'll start noticing condoms in their pockets in some cases, or just ask them. A lot of times, if you go to your children, if you have a close enough relationship, you just go to them and ask them. Just ask them, say, hey, are you having sex? Or have your husband ask them, because that's, sometimes they don't like talking to their mothers about this kind of thing. And if he has a brother, then have the older brother go to him, or have a uncle or a cousin or something go to him, and just talk to him, and just making sure that he's protecting himself, because again, you don't want an unwanted pregnancy, and you don't want to be a grandmother too early. Um, but again, sometimes they do whatever they want to do. But definitely just have a really good conversation with him, and just let your son know that you're there for him, and he can talk to you about anything, that you were young and you had feelings, as well. And you understand. You might not be a boy, but you definitely understand where he's coming from, where he's going through. And definitely try to develop that bond with him. Take him out for dinner. Take him out to somewhere he like to go. The next question. My friend, my friend is pregnant by my boyfriend. Okay, well, that's not your friend. I don't. I mean, that's not really your friend. I would really you just disconnect from the both of them if that's something that you want to do. Are you still in? See, I have several questions on there. Are you still in a relationship with him? I'm not really clear. Did you were you all having threesomes? I mean, I kind of feel the energy behind that question, and from my feeling, I think you all were doing threesomes and she got pregnant. So if that's the case, then that's something that you have to deal with, because that's something that you invited into your bedroom. But anyway, definitely call me. I would definitely be happy to work you all through that. So my recommendation might be, I don't know, polygamy or something. If that's what you want to do, if that's the energy that I'm getting behind that. Okay. Um. The next question. My my hus my husband has a baby mama from hell. Okay. So the answer is, did you know she was a baby mama from hell before you married him? Um. If so, then that's kind of something that you have to deal with at this point in time. But if I were you, I would certainly talk to him and tell him to kind of get that together a little bit more. Maybe y'all need to go to the courts, and not so it's not volatile, so it's not any more violence. Because what I am sensing some type of energy that it is violent, and that you basically have to set some ground rules there. So you might have to hire, he might have to hire him a lawyer, and you all be able to just kind of sit down like grown adults and get a mediator and try to, air out certain things and list a parenting plan. And definitely maybe have a neutral place. I know it does stay here that you all are moving as well. So I would not let her come to my home, or I would meet her at a neutral place and pick up the child. And I don't think it's necessarily for you to have to go, because again, it sounds like it's just really negative. And that child, it's not about you three; it's really about that child. So if I were you, I would kind of stay out of it, you know, and let him deal with it. But just you list certain demands that you're requiring from your mate and for him to handle. So it's just better to hire a lawyer and maybe seek some type of a counselor, and y'all get a parenting plan together. Um, let's see. Okay, so that's all the time I have for questions or advice. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Amira Sankofa Kwali again with As Life Coaching Ministries. Thank you so much. You have a blessed day. Peace and blessings.